Okay, Reddit, buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride. So I've been working at this marketing firm for about 2 years. Nothing fancy, just your typical mid-tier office gig in downtown Atlanta. The pay was decent, enough to cover my rent. In Midtown, and still have some leftover for bottomless mimosas at Flying Biscuit on weekends. My boss, let's call him Derek, was one of those wannabe Wolf of Wall Street types. You know the kind, always wearing those knockoff Hugo Boss suits from Men's Warehouse, constantly talking about his glory days at UGA, even though that was like 15 years ago, and driving a leased BMW 3 Series that he acted like was a Lamborghini. Anyway, my birthday was coming up, September 23rd, and I decided to ask for that Friday off. Nothing crazy, right? I'd been working my butt off all summer, staying late to finish campaigns, coming in on weekends when we had big presentations. I hadn't taken a single day off since Memorial Day weekend when I went to Lake Lanier with my girls. So I walk into Derek's office on Monday morning, all professional-like. His office always smelled like that cheap cologne from Bath & Body Works mixed with stale Starbucks. He's sitting there scrolling through LinkedIn, probably stalking his ex or something. Hey Derek, I wanted to put in a request for September 23rd off. It's my birthday and I was hoping to take a long weekend. Y'all, this man looks up at me like I just asked him to donate a kidney. His face goes from that fake tan orange to straight up red. Are you serious right now, Sarah? We have the Peterson account presentation that week. Actually, the presentation is on Thursday. I'm asking for Friday off. He stands up, and I swear I saw a vein pop out on his forehead. You millennials think the world revolves around you. Birthday? What are you, 5? This is a business, not Chuck E. Cheese. I'm standing there thinking, first of all, I'm 28, not 5. Second of all, I've literally never asked for time off before. But okay, go off, I guess. Derek, I've been here 2 years, and this is my first time requesting a personal day. I think you've earned nothing. In fact, you know what? You're fired. Clear out your desk. I'll have security escort you out. I literally laughed because I thought he was joking. But nope, this man was dead serious. 20 minutes later, I'm walking out with a cardboard box full of my succulents and my world's okayest employee mug, while Paul from security, who I used to share my Krispy Kreme donuts with every Friday, awkwardly walks behind me. I get to my Honda Civic in the parking garage, and I just sit there for like 10 minutes processing what just happened. Then I called my girl Keisha, who works at a law firm downtown. Girl, he can't do that. Georgia's an at-will state, but firing someone for requesting time off? That's sketchy as hell. Let me connect you with my colleague who does employment law. Long. Story short, I met with this lawyer, Marcus, who looked at my case and his eyes literally lit up like Christmas morning. Turns out, I had emails documenting my stellar performance reviews, 0 write-ups, and Derek had put in writing, in an email, that he was firing me specifically for requesting my birthday off. Marcus was like, this is a slam dunk. He not only wrongfully terminated you, but his email shows discrimination and retaliation. Plus, I pulled some records. Seems like Derek has a pattern of firing female employees who request time off. We filed the lawsuit 2 weeks later. I was asking for wrongful termination, discrimination, and emotional distress. Derek got served at the office, apparently in front of the whole team during their Monday morning meeting. My former coworker Jessica texted me saying he turned white as a sheet. The discovery phase was wild. Turns out, Derek had been cooking the books using company credit cards for personal expenses. We're talking trips to Vegas, bottles at Magic City, even bought his side chick a Louis Vuitton bag. Once that came out, the company's lawyers were like, we're not touching this with a 10-foot pole. Updated. Y'all remember how I said the discovery phase was wild? Let me tell you what went down in court. So we get to the deposition, and Derek shows up with his lawyer, some dude who probably got his degree from those late-night TV commercials. Meanwhile, I'm rolling in with Marcus, who's wearing a Tom Ford suit and has this briefcase that probably cost more than my rent. Derek's trying to play it cool, but I can see his hands shaking when he's drinking his water. They start asking him questions about company policy, and this man straight up lies under oath. Says there's a no time off during September policy. Marcus just smiles and pulls out the employee handbook. No such policy exists. Then they get to the good stuff, the finances. Marcus has receipts, literal receipts, of Derek charging $3,000 at Cheetah Lounge to the company card. He claimed it was client entertainment. The judge actually had to hide a laugh when Marcus asked if the client was employed at the establishment. But here's where it gets really good. Remember how I mentioned Derek had a pattern with female employees? Turns out 5 other women came forward. 5. They all had similar stories, asked for time off for legitimate reasons, one for her kid's surgery, another for her wedding that was planned a year in advance, and got fired on the spot. The company CEO, Mr. Patterson, had to fly in from their headquarters in Charlotte. This man was pissed. Not at me, at Derek. Apparently, Derek had been telling upper management that all these women quit voluntarily. They had no idea about the lawsuits piling up because Derek was intercepting the legal notices. During the trial, Derek's lawyer tries to paint me as a problematic employee. They bring up the time I microwaved fish in the break room. Okay, fair. My bad. And how I once wore flip-flops on a casual Friday. Marcus just sits there like, is that all you got? Then we present our evidence. Emails where Derek called female employees emotional and unreliable. Text messages to the HR manager, who was his drinking buddy, saying he prefers to hire men because they don't need time off for female problems. I'm not even kidding, he actually wrote that. The judge was this older black woman who looked like she wanted to throw her gavel at Derek's head. When Derek tried to explain that he meant female problems like shopping and getting their nails done, she literally said, "Mr. Johnson, I suggest you stop talking before you dig yourself a deeper hole." The trial lasted 3 days. On day 2, Derek tried to approach me during lunch break at the Chick-fil-A across the street. "Sarah, we can work this out. I'll give you your job back with a raise. Just drop this whole thing." I looked at him over my spicy chicken sandwich and said, "Derek, the only thing I'm dropping is you. See you in court?" His face turned that familiar red color, but this time I wasn't scared. I was enjoying every second of it. By the end of day 3, it wasn't even a question. The judge ruled in my favor on all counts, but that was just the beginning. The CEO announced they were conducting a full audit of the Atlanta office. Turns out, Derek wasn't just discriminating and embezzling. He was also running a side business using company resources. He was literally using our office printers to print flyers for his cousin's landscaping business and had been billing the company for consulting fees that went straight to his pocket. Updated. So the verdict comes in and the judge awards me $500,000 in damages. $500,000. I literally started crying right there in the courtroom. My mom was there, holding my hand, and she whispered, "That's my baby girl," and I lost it even more. But wait, it gets better. The company, trying to save face, offered me an additional settlement of $300,000 to sign an NDA. Marcus advised me to take it, so I did. That's $800,000 total, y'all. For asking for my birthday off. Derek's world started, crumbling fast. The CEO fired him on the spot, like literally in the courthouse parking lot. No 2 weeks' notice, no severance, nothing. They also filed criminal charges for embezzlement. The IRS got involved because, surprise, surprise, he wasn't reporting any of that side income. Within a month, everything fell apart for him. His wife, oh yeah, he was married this whole time while taking his side chick to Morton's Steakhouse on the company dime, filed for divorce. Apparently, she saw everything in the court documents. The affairs, the spending, all of it. She took the house, in Buckhead, both cars, and even their golden retriever, Buddy. The criminal trial was swift. Derek got 18 months in federal prison for embezzlement and tax evasion. He had to pay back over $200,000 to the company. His assets were frozen, including that precious BMW he loved so much. Here's the karma part, though. While all this was happening, I used some of my settlement money to start my own consulting firm. I reached out to all those women who'd been fired by Derek and offered them positions. We're doing amazing. Just landed a contract with Coca-Cola for their new diversity campaign. I bought a cute little house in Decatur, paid off my student loans, and even got myself a new car, a Tesla Model Y in pearl white. Every morning when I drive past my old office building, I can't help but smile. But the best part? About 6 months after Derek got out of prison, I was grabbing lunch at the Varsity. If you know, you know. Best chili dogs in Atlanta. And I see this familiar figure outside. It's Derek, but he looks different. No suit, no fancy watch, just a stained apron and a paper hat. He's working a hot dog cart. I'm not even making this up. The man who once told me I was too entitled for wanting my birthday off is now slinging Hebrew National Franks on Peachtree Street for $5 a pop. I walked right up to his cart, and he recognized me immediately. His face went through like 5 different emotions: shock, embarrassment, anger, and finally, desperation. "Sarah, how are you?" "Living my best life, Derek. I'll take a hot dog with everything." His hands were shaking as he made my hot dog. While he was adding the mustard, he started talking fast. "Listen, Sarah, I know I messed up. I've lost everything. My wife took it all in the divorce. I can't find a job anywhere in marketing because of my record. And I'm living in my mom's basement in Marietta. I'm barely making ends meet with this cart. Is there any way you could maybe put in a good word somewhere? Or maybe your company needs someone with my experience?" I took my hot dog, handed him a $10 bill, and said, "Keep the change. As for a job, I don't hire people who discriminate against women. Company policy." I heard he tried to sue me for discrimination, but no lawyer would take his case. The irony was delicious, almost as delicious as that hot dog. Last week, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Derek. He sends me these long paragraphs about how sorry he is, how he's changed, how he's been going to therapy. He begs me to forgive him, says he'll do anything to make it right. Final update. I never responded to Derek's texts, but they keep coming. Every few weeks, there's another novel about his journey of self-discovery or whatever. I finally blocked the number. Last month was my 30th birthday, and I celebrated it exactly how I wanted. Took the whole week off, because I can, since I'm the boss now, flew to Turks and Caicos with my girls, and posted every fabulous moment on Instagram. My company is thriving. I'm getting married next spring to Marcus. Yes, the lawyer. Talk about a plot twist. And I just signed the papers on a vacation home in Savannah. Sometimes I drive by Derek's hot dog cart when I'm heading to meetings. Downtown. He's still there, rain or shine, serving up those $5 frankfurters. Word on the street is he's actually gotten pretty good at it. Yelp reviews say he makes a mean chili dog. Funny how life works out. All I wanted was one day off for my birthday. Instead, I got a whole new life, and Derek got a reality check with a side of sauerkraut. Moral of the story? Don't fire someone for asking for their birthday off, and definitely don't do it in writing. Oh, and always, always treat people with respect. You never know when that person you stepped on might end up being your only hope for redemption. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a company to run and a birthday to plan. This year, I'm thinking of taking the whole month off, because I can.